to do a video. I took a lot of footage when Hurricane Ian came through, and I want to do a video of just kind of what it's like being in a hurricane. Because people just see these lunatic reporters going down to the coast, standing at the brunt of it, and facing down the storm. And for the most part, it's not really that insane, because if you have that big of a hurricane coming at you, you go away. Now you get that damage, but basically I grew up in Port Orange. It's just south of Daytona Beach, and hurricanes have a habit of coming up the coast and then curving away, or coming at the coast and curving down. So in the middle chunk of the state, it's not generally like what you see them standing there on the shores of the Keys or Miami or something with the streets flooding in the insanity. There's, you can get some flooding, but it's not usually that bad. It's usually just a little rain and a little wind, and maybe the power goes out, maybe it doesn't, maybe you lose Wi-Fi, maybe you don't. But it's usually not that bad. In any case, Hurricane Ian came through. Didn't seem like it was to be that bad. Woke up the next day and it was like the whole neighborhood was flooded. I still had power cut in and out. So what I've done here is I compiled photos, videos, and I'll just start off with a brief snippet of now, so that you can see normal time and where water levels are. So you'll see some footage during the hurricane of what should have been a ditch was no longer a ditch. The water never came into my house, and I'm probably the only house on so many blocks. So many blocks. And at the very end, you'll see what I think is the most relevant part of this. Is not the exciting wind, rain, flooding, whatever. But the aftermath and kind of how it affects the people in this neighborhood. And I was insanely fortunate because, well, I say fortunate as if I was lucky, but I think ahead. So when I bought this house, I knew that this area was all flood zone. So, in considering a house purchase in this area, I bought a house that was built up. My ground here versus my neighbor, like 10 feet away, I think I have 2.5 feet on him. The neighbor on the other side's a little closer up, maybe like 6 to 10 inches. Not as bad. There's a little bit of a drop, but it's not as bad. And when I bought this house, it was just, my house on the hill and a slope down to the neighbors, and you come in the drive and it's a big steep incline. And then of course out back here with the big trough of a ditch. So looking at this house, I'm like, well, the rest of Florida Shores, which is the neighborhood area that's basically Edgewater, would have to flood before it came into my house. So I felt pretty confident in buying this house, and I encourage anyone purchasing a house in a flood zone or anywhere that is at sea level, like the state of Florida, to think before you purchase, to look at the ground level of your house. These things can be referenced online. Figure it out. Purchase intelligently. Don't just rely on insurance to have your butt. Because even if insurance has your butt, which can be sketchy at times, there's so much hassle and so much loss that goes into this kind of situation. Which brings me back to my point, which is at the end of the video, I spent probably a month or two going back and forth up my road here as I do go to work in the morning and come home in the evening, in a gauntlet of destruction. And it was a mix of yard trash and home, people's properties, their furniture, their belongings, their what used to be photographs. And the thing with the floodwaters is, it's not like, well, You got a little spring water on it. You got a little ocean water. This is water that could potentially be mixed with pollutants, chemicals, human waste. There's any amount of disgustingness to it, and you don't really want it on you or your things. So, if it comes up a foot in your house, you're probably going to take like a foot and a half of the entire structure out of your house and replace it, down to the framework, because it's disgusting, and you don't want that grossness in the walls and the smells and in your house and all that. So, yeah, everybody for blocks and blocks and blocks and blocks down to the main drag there flooded out. So I did venture out in the water a little bit with some rubber boots and bathing suit, and of course it's always raining, so I got wet. But I did go into the water once and then came in and stripped and showered, right away. But I wanted to see how deep it was and just get some footage. But yeah, seeing that destruction of everything my neighbors are dealing with, and the fellow next to me here, for instance, has been working on his own house for ages. He did not have flood insurance, and the water was at least a foot, maybe more, in his house. And then it absorbs higher too. So I think he ended up taking out about a 4-foot height level in his whole house. And he's doing all this work on his own because he didn't have flood insurance. So he's living with a friend, and every day, when he has time, he comes over and he's doing all kinds of construction over here to remodel his whole house. And I hope, after that he has the smarts to sell it and get out of it. But really, this whole area should be leveled and brought up. It's just too shallow for most of these people. I was an island, which, yay for me, bad for everybody else. And, it was fun in the moment, recording everything and seeing everything. But even then, you're looking at your neighbors going, oh, God, they've just lost everything. So there's that. Well, if you have any sort of empathy to you, compassion, soul, there's that moment that you realize that and face that, and that's crappy. So anyways, there'll be that little gauntlet at the end, and I'll see if I can slow it down, because I'm driving on a street, so I'm going I think it's 30 miles an hour out here, and it's easy to say, oh, that's just a little pile of rubble, that's not bad. But when you slow it down and you look at the piles, you go, oh, that's a lot of stuff. It's like couches, TVs, bookshelves, dressers, all kinds of personal property just thrown out, art, mirrors, etc. All sorts of cabinetry from kitchens and bathrooms. Like I said, basically anything the water touched and a foot or two above it. So, very fortunate for me that I did not suffer any of that. I had a fence go down, a piece of fence out front that came down. It ripped the fence out of a concrete wall. So, I had to, no one else here, I had to take these big wood fence panels off on my own and replace it, and drill down and used hydraulic cement to get everything back in, and then put the panels back up. My Italian cypress trees out front, not made for hurricanes. Anytime there's a hurricane, they fall over. And of course my banana trees suffered. My one banana tree that had bananas on it fell over, which they do sometimes anyways. They just like, whoop, and then they're in half, like somebody folded your tree. The bananas were alive for a long time, and I thought, well, maybe they'll hit maturity, but no. So that was it, though. That was all I lost. That was all I had to deal with. General yard debris, other than that, and yeah, that's it. So lucky me, crappy for everybody else. All right, enjoy the footage. Adios. That is my street right now. It's several feet of water. I don't know how deep that is. Backyard is actually getting flooded, which is shocking because the ditch behind that fence is huge, so deep. So, as you can tell, that's all not too deep, but maybe like, 6-12 inches or somewhere in there. And of course it's just still raining. Took down my banana trees. Sugar cane will come back, that's no problem. That banana tree had bananas on it though, that's kind of annoying. And at least say it is dry up here. The front right of the yard is, getting kind of full there as well. And it is up here, but I don't think that's really, it's not like it's flooding up to the house. It's just that's a low spot right there. So still a lot of feet to go. Oh God. Oh, their house is going to be effed up. And this is why you live on the hill. That's the whole neighborhood. Holy. Here's me, high and dry, baby. There's a lot more water that has to come in before it gets to me, but it's still, it's supposed to rain all day and the next day, so yeah. That's a damn river, though. Know how my other neighbor's doing, and I don't know that I have a good way to see that. Oh, well, that could be a problem. That's better. It was raining, but it was pooling by the house. There were these damn snake plants in the way. Oh, so that is filled with water. I think the neighbor's okay, because I think he's up as high as I am. Oh, okay. No, he's got some water. Wow, that is almost to my shed. I have to keep an eye on that. As it starts getting in the shed, I gotta at least get my electric mower out of there. Well, I have a swimming pool anyways. It's kind of shallow there, but this is just crazy. I honestly had never thought I'd see this. That is my street and over to the neighbor's house. I'm just filming through my window, so sorry for the blur. And ooh, oh, that's really bad. Okay, it's of course my front yard, but I still am dry mostly up by the house there. But it is still going up. I was just out in my bathing suit here, cleaning my yard up from what is now Tropical Storm Ian. And so I got all the major sticks and stuff. There's a big old log on the back of my car, but thankfully no damage. And let's see if I can slog out here. It's normally where I take my dog for a potty break. Whoa. Hey, there's something solid. Hope it's not alive. Get on my retaining wall. The neighbor's yard. And this is why it pays to be up higher. Now this is the canal. And behind me, the street, the house, you know, everything. I can't even quite see everything myself, but watch it later. Ugh. It's really crazy though. It's a lot of water. It's a lot of water. You know, well, I hope it doesn't get up to my house, but I still have a good ways to go. Erg. Remember where those hard things are. Erg. Well, woo. And there we go. And now we're dry. So I'm up here. I still have quite a ways before it gets to the back of the house, and I think it's slightly closer to the back than it is the front. I did have to unclog the old boat here. It was filling up. The other boat had some water in it too. So we got all those cleaned out. You know, maybe did 20-30 minutes of yard work here, getting everything cleaned up. But it's all good now. I guess since I'm already wet, and so far so good with the phone working. I'm sure the raindrop's going to hit the stop button here any minute, but we'll see. Picked up the neighbor's mailbox. It was almost underwater, tilted over. Not much holding it together, really. Oh, my poor Cypress. Actually, you know what? Well, no, I'm good. So there's my neighbors have left. This is the house we were just looking at the backyard. So they have left because, you know, obviously, kind of wanted to keep an eye on this wall, see when that water comes over. I think I'll just rescue their trash can here. Maybe. Oh my God, it's full of water. Okay, maybe not. Let's see. Oh, Jesus, no. Okay, that's a bit too heavy. At least it's back here. Probably won't go sailing through the neighborhood. I already got myself a basketball floated up to my drive. Someone's sewer cover. And, oh, the neighbor's mailbox is down again. Just to pinpoint this. So, yeah, hopefully that's in frame around. In the road up to, what is that? That's there, my kneecaps there. See if I can get the neighbor's mail. Got some ants on this thing. I kind of feel bad for them. It's like a cataclysm. Oh, and a snail. Okay, tell you what. I'm just gonna take this. I'll just take this. Put this sucker up here. I don't want to squish little snail man. There we go. Yeah, fun times though. Just gotta, take it slow. It's good fun. Actually, I am kind of curious how the neighbors are doing. I can't really see the other side from my house. Oh my god. Yeah, that's almost up a little deeper there. I think because I'm off the road. There we go. Oh. Well, I think that's probably in their house a little bit. Definitely in their house. Oh well. Day 2 of the flooding, it has gone down significantly. You can see it was all the way up to there. Well, I think I can see it in person better than it's showing up on the camera, but that's a long way. You can see the water was all the way up to that line there. Was actually just at the top of this wall yesterday. That was the highest it got, where it was right there lapping at that edge. And that's, it's a pretty good drop down. So this guy's house is drying off. That's nice. I did have a thing where my fence is tipped over. It's the only damage I got, per se. My Italian cypress really are not made for Florida hurricanes, but they did okay. I don't think they'll die. So, still have maybe a foot of water, but that's way better than what it was. And it's just kind of cool now because you can see, it's nice and clear. You can see everything. This we got a tree down over here. That's a really big one too. We got these people kind of packing out their stuff. My neighbor's mailbox was about to be swept away yesterday, so I actually put it up in my yard, but I have to stick it out here later when the water goes down. And that's the other direction. Even more cordoned off by trees. So, not too many places to go, even if you want to. Although I guess, like doing what they're doing, packing out. But, good old house is doing just fine. I'm gonna take a photo here.